Blessings and welcome to today's Sunday service short message from the heart of Mighty I Am Presence. Thank you so much for being here today. Today's topic is default mode. I want to really get into the space of what a default mode is, as we each do have a default setting within us. And this default mode needs to be shifted. Before getting into the topic, let me just go ahead and thank those of you who are returning to my channel. Thank you so much. Thank you for leaving your comment, your question, giving it a like, and also resharing it, as it truly helps get this message out to the right people. Also, for those of you who are new, thank you so much. Please leave me a comment. I would love to hear from you. So, default mode. We each have a default mode within us. This default mode has been set inside without us even really being aware from childhood. Often this default mode has been placed from a place where we were once a child and we experienced some kind of hurt, some kind of sadness, some kind of betrayal, some kind of actually even trauma. And from that place, because of the emotions we experienced, because of the feelings that were risen within us, we developed some kind of belief system within it. And often from that place, we separated from our God presence. So therefore, we may have felt the world is an unsafe place. We developed a belief system, and that became our default mode without knowing. Or maybe things are always stressful, and that became also part of our default setting or default mode. So what happens is that throughout life, there are always situations coming up, and we generally just fall into the default mode without ever knowing what's going on. And all the emotions, all the feeling from that default mode comes right on. Very much like our iPhone. Our iPhone has default setting. Now, if you don't want it to operate in that way, you literally have to go in and swipe it this way or swipe it that way, turn it off or turn it on. So you take it out of the factory default that it is coming with. And this is also for us. In order for us to create that change, we're going to have to first become aware there's certain default mode settings within us. And only to become aware that these default mode settings within us have come from this disempowered place. It is usually coming from a place where we've been still hurting from what took place maybe 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30, 40, 50 years ago. And that became an automatic reactionary state that we're operating from versus being responsive. So from here, when we become aware of this, we call that God presence back in. Through that God presence, we're able to shine God Mighty's light up on this, and we become aware that this is a default. This is not the truth. It is an illusion of separation that's been playing a part. As a result of it, it has also caused harm and hurt to ourselves and onto others. So once we shine light upon this, the awareness rises. And once there is awareness, that means it's been brought up to the light. When we raise it up to the light, we can now see it. It's kind of like putting it on the table. Let's now see this. And we're able to then responsibly face the emotion, face the feelings, face the beliefs, face the thoughts. And from all of these areas that we are able to see with God's presence as our witness that is seeing through us, we get to then choose which direction we want to go with this. Do we want to still operate from a default mode, or do we want to swipe that close and no more and choose what God Almighty said about us? And do we want to begin to start living that way. But to start living that way, it's not that simple. Then these emotions have to be addressed. The feelings have to be addressed. So the very first step is the awareness. And the second step becomes to then choosing. I choose to want to believe this instead. And I choose to want to feel this instead. I choose to want to be what God said about me instead. And from that, for me to feel this way, what God said about me. And once we make that choice, then it becomes our actionable steps in practicing that choice and remaining in faith and demonstrating trust, so our faith is released. And this is how we're able to shift this, moving out of that default mode of the human condition into allowing the God presence to operate and live through our body. And this is where the freedom is. This is where the true prosperity is. This is where the true health, wealth, joy, everything resides in this space. So thank you so much for watching, and I really look forward in hearing your comments. We go really deep into this space in our 12 journey module program to help people to shift out of these. And right now, this is a very short, kind of like an understanding of how this default mode exists within us, and that there is a possibility to get out of it. So hope this helps you. Thank you so much. And for any of you that want to embody more of your God presence,